The Interstellar Defense Academy didn't just train soldiers, it manufactured legends. Every cadet who walked through its iron corridors knew that graduation required surviving the one test no simulation could prepare them for, the fear chamber. The purpose was simple: expose cadets to their deepest terror and measure who broke, who stood firm, and who transcended fear entirely. The chamber had claimed the pride of Carthon warriors, reduced towering velid insectoids to trembling husks, and even caused steel-skinned Orin to faint. But this cycle, the instructors promised something no one had ever faced before. Rumors spread like static through the academy halls. "They found a real one," whispered a cadet. "A live Voronine predator." Another replied, "Impossible. Those things were exterminated after the war." Yet, when the blast doors shuddered open, every rumor felt suddenly inadequate. Cadet Rhea Carter, the only human among the group, stood near the back, small and unarmored compared to the scaled and armored species surrounding her. Sweat rolled down her spine, but her eyes stayed fixed on the shadows ahead. A low vibration rippled through the floor, a sound so deep it made her chest ache. The first thing they saw were the eyes, molten gold, slit like a serpent's but filled with intelligence. The beast's body followed, black and silver scales rippling like liquid armor, claws clicking against the metal floor. Steam curled from its nostrils with every breath. Its shoulders brushed the ceiling. The velid cadets hissed in panic, retreating. The Orin beside Rhea muttered a curse in his native tongue, his armored plates tightening. "Cadets," came Commander Ratal's gravelly voice over the intercom, "behold the apex predator of Voronine. Fear it, understand it, conquer it." The creature tilted its head, pupils contracting as it scanned the group. Then it moved, one slow, deliberate step forward. The lights flickered with every vibration of its claws against the floor. Someone screamed. The formation shattered. Aliens scattered to the walls, trying to escape a predator that could split tanks in half. But Rhea stayed rooted to the spot. Her fear was there, sharp and electric, but beneath it, something else. The creature's movements were uncertain, almost hesitant. Its nostrils flared as if confused. It wasn't charging, it was searching. And in that flicker of confusion, Rhea saw something heartbreakingly familiar: exhaustion. "You don't want to be here, do you?" she said softly, voice trembling but audible. Every eye turned to her. Even the commander froze behind the reinforced class. The creature blinked, muscles relaxing ever slightly. Rhea took a single cautious step forward, ignoring the screams from her peers. "It's okay," she whispered. "You're just scared too." The beast lowered its massive head, sniffing the air near her boots. Then, without warning, it exhaled, a warm gust that ruffled her uniform, and folded its legs beneath itself. The floor trembled as the monster lay down beside her. Then, impossibly, it closed its eyes and fell asleep. The room fell utterly silent, save for the rhythmic sound of the creature's breathing. For the first time in the Academy's history, fear itself had decided to rest. No one moved. The silence in the fear chamber stretched so long that the light's faint hum felt deafening. A dozen alien cadets stared, frozen in disbelief, their weapons trembling in their hands. The creature, classified as a Voronine apex predator bioengineered to kill, was snoring softly at the human's feet. Commander Rahal, the Orin instructor with jagged mandibles and obsidian carapace, leaned toward the observation glass. "That is not possible," he rasped. "It never sleeps." Rhea Carter didn't know what to do. Her entire body shook from adrenaline, her heart drumming so loudly it echoed in her ears. She half expected the creature to wake and tear her in two. But instead, it shifted slightly, closer, its warm breath fogging the floor beside her boot. Slowly, cautiously, she knelt. Gasps erupted from the other cadets. "She's insane," one hissed. "It'll kill her." Rhea ignored them. She looked into the beast's face, tracing the ridges of scars running along its snout. The pattern didn't look random. It looked burned in. Branding marks. Control scars. Someone had tortured this thing. Her voice came out quiet, shaky, but steady enough. "You've been used for this, haven't you? For their lessons?" Behind the glass, a technician whispered, "Commander, the creature's neural activity is dropping, way below aggression threshold. It's calm." Rahal's mandibles clicked. That thing slaughtered a unit of valid commandos. Why not her? "I don't know, sir," the aide said, "but it synced to her heartbeat. Look." The readouts confirmed it. Its vitals mirrored Rhea's exactly. Every breath, every heartbeat, matching pace. Inside the chamber, Rhea slowly extended her hand, stopping just shy of touching the creature's snout. The beast stirred slightly, a low rumble vibrating through the floor, a sound like distant thunder. But it wasn't anger. It sounded almost content. Her classmates crowded near the glass, their earlier mockery gone, replaced with awe. "She's not controlling it," one of them murmured. "It's choosing her." Commander Rahal slammed a clawed fist against the console. "Enough! And the test! Bring them both out!" The containment doors hissed open, flanked by guards in shock armor. "Don't make any sudden moves," one barked, aiming a plasma rifle at the beast. The creature's eyes snapped open, glowing gold, and it let out a rumbling growl. Rhea instantly stepped between it and spread her arms. "Stop! You're scaring him!" she yelled. The guards hesitated, but the sheer conviction in her voice made them lower their weapons. The monster blinked again, the glow fading, and with a heavy sigh, it slumped back down. Rahal stared at the human girl through the glass, his mind a storm of disbelief and grudging respect. "Cadet Carter," he said into the intercom, voice gravelly, "what exactly did you do?" Rhea turned toward the window, her expression soft but steady. "Nothing, sir," she said. "I just treated him like he wasn't a monster." For a long moment, no one spoke. Then the commander gave a sharp, rasping chuckle. "Well, human," he said, "you've broken my test." And as the alarms powered down, everyone in that chamber knew the story of the human who made a monster sleep would echo far beyond the academy walls. By dawn, the entire academy knew the story. The human girl who tamed the monster. Rhea Carter couldn't walk through the halls without whispers following her. Every alien cadet who once dismissed her as weak now stared with a mix of awe and unease. Some called her brave. Others called her dangerous. The creature, no longer Subject 12 as it was labeled in the Academy's files, had a new name now. Rhea called him Echo, because when she spoke, he always made that soft rumbling sound in response, like he was trying to echo her words. At first, the instructors forbade further contact, but Echo refused to eat, move, or even breathe steadily unless Rhea was nearby. When they tried to sedate him, he roared so violently that the lights shattered across the observation deck. So they had no choice but to bring her in. Rhea entered the containment chamber again, this time without fear. Echo perked up the instant he saw her, tail twitching, golden eyes bright. He leaned his massive head toward her like a cat greeting its favorite person. "There you are," she whispered, resting her hand against his warm scales. "You big baby." Commander Rortal and a team of xenobiologists watched from behind the glass, documenting everything. Neural scans revealed something extraordinary. Echo's biopatterns were syncing with Rhea's in perfect rhythm. His aggression receptors flatlined whenever she spoke. "He's not bonded by command," one scientist muttered. "He's bonded by choice." Rotal folded his arms. "Or instinct. The creature senses something in her. Calm, empathy, a threat response that's absent. Rhea ignored their stares. She was more interested in the faint scar at the base of Echo's neck, a metal tag half fused into his skin. "You've been through hell," she murmured, prying it loose. It read, "Property of Vora 9 Bio-War Division." The realization hit her hard. This wasn't a wild animal. He'd been created, bred to kill, then tortured into obedience. That night, Rhea sat beside Echo as he slept, his breathing deep and steady. She spoke softly, like to a child. "You're not a weapon anymore. Not here." Echo's tail thumped once, slow and heavy, like he understood. Weeks passed. Their connection deepened. Rhea was permitted to take Echo into the outer training fields where cadets practiced combat drills. Wherever she walked, he followed, his massive shadow stretching over the sand. When instructors raised their voices at her, Echo growled until they stopped. Soon, Rhea wasn't just the human who tamed a beast. She became the human who changed it. But not everyone approved. Some higher officers saw danger, not harmony. "If it bonds to one human," Commander Rotal warned the council, "what happens when that human's gone?" And somewhere deep inside Echo's re-engineered mind, something stirred, a flicker of memory, flames, screams, pain. He remembered the labs, the chains, the fear. And he remembered one more thing. The last human voice he'd heard before Rhea's had said, "Make it obey or destroy it." The alarms started just after midnight. Sirens wailed through the academy halls, and the blue glow of the fear chamber turned blood red. Rhea Carter woke to the sound of explosions. Through the window of her dorm, she saw fire streaking across the sky, gunships, breaching pods, the thunder of plasma rounds. "We're under attack!" The Academy's defense sirens blared. "Unauthorized incursion. Sector 12 compromised." Sector 12, where Echo was kept. Rhea didn't hesitate. She sprinted barefoot through the corridor, dodging panicked cadets and falling debris. Her comm crackled with the commander's voice. "Carter, stay where you are. The creature's containment has failed." She cut the channel. "He's not the threat," she muttered. "He's the target." She reached the hangar doors just as they blew open. Smoke and blaster fire flooded the corridor. Mercenaries in black armor stormed through, their insignitias unmarked. They'd come to steal the beast the galaxy still called a weapon. And standing in the center of the chaos was Echo. He was roaring, chained still to the floor, but straining hard enough to crack the steel. The attackers were firing stun lances into his flanks, shouting orders in half a dozen alien tongues. Echo's eyes glowed gold, not with rage, but with confusion, panic. "Echo!" Rhea screamed. Every head turned. Echo's massive head jerked toward her voice. His golden eyes focused, and everything changed. He ripped through the chains like paper. The mercenaries opened fire, but Echo was faster. He swept his tail across the hangar, smashing a squad of armored soldiers into the wall. Plasma bolts hit his hide and burned, but he didn't stop, didn't even look at them. He was moving toward her. Rhea ran forward through the chaos, ignoring the smoke and sparks raining down. "Easy, it's okay," she shouted, raising her hands. "You're safe." The creature stopped inches from her. Its breath came in ragged bursts, its body trembling. She could see the old scars glowing faintly under the skin, implants reactivating, commands buried deep in his flesh. Someone, somewhere, was trying to control him again. Rhea placed her hand on his snout. "No," she whispered, "not anymore. You choose." For a moment, the world froze. Then the light in his eyes shifted, from mechanical gold to something warm, alive.
He turned, roaring, and unleashed a blast of sound so powerful it shattered the mercenaries' weapons. The hangar walls cracked, sending enemies fleeing in terror. By the time Commander Ratal's troops arrived, the battle was over. The mercenaries lay scattered and unconscious, and in the center of the ruined chamber sat Rhea, leaning against Echo's massive shoulder, both of them covered in ash and light. Ratal stared in awe. "You just made a weapon defy its programming," he said softly. Rhea smiled tiredly. "No, sir. I just reminded him he's not one." As dawn rose over the smoldering academy, Echo curled protectively around her and finally slept again, the same way he had that first day. The galaxy would later call it the day fear died. But for Rhea, it was simpler than that. She'd met a monster and taught it how to rest.